Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show, Memphis and DC are back and the Democrats are mad. So why don't the Democrats want their people to be safe? Why do they hate the fact that crime is down in these cities? We're going to talk about that today on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. Yeah, the Democrats are mad. And why are they mad? Because Trump has made DC and Memphis, Tennessee safe cities again. You can look on Instagram and TikTok, and you'll find black people, that people live in the inner city, black and white, Hispanic, all happy that Donald Trump has sent the National Guard into these cities and made them safe.
My name is Braylon, and I live here in Memphis. I've been noticing not just a slight change, more of a detrimental change in how peaceful Memphis is ever since the National Guard came. There was a lot of things I couldn't do before the National Guard came because I had to worry a lot about guns and stuff. I couldn't play because I was worried that somebody might pull out a gun or something, but now I could do that. And I just wanted to thank the President of the United States for bringing the National Guard here.
People are playing in the streets. People are happy. It was this scene from the movie on the Waterfront. One of the greatest scenes of all time. On the Waterfront is a gangster movie. A young Marlon Brando plays in it. And he's this has-been fighter that the mob has used to throw fights and whatnot. And he's bruised and he's got kind of brain damaged and speaks with a slur. And the cops are investigating the mob, and the mob controls the Waterfront. And they want Marlon Brando, who kind of knows the inner workings of the mob, to go against the mob. But Marlon doesn't want to do it because his brother works for the mob, and his brother has done very good in the mob. Marlon Brando's character has been. He doesn't have anything much. But his brother is doing very, very well. He's very successful in the mob. And this is seen, and Marlon Brando reminds me of the black community, and his brother reminds me of the Iron Triangle. Most black politicians, most black preachers, and most black civil rights workers. They're doing very well where the black community stays out here. He reminds me his brother reminds me of the white liberal who does very, very well while the punch drunk, beat up black community has nothing. And this is how it is in Memphis. So at the end, when Marlon Brando decides to go and talk to the feds, the mob sends his brother down there and tells him, you either get your brother to back up and stop talking, or we're going to kill you. So it's this great scene there in the back of a taxi cab, and his brother's trying to talk him out of going to the mob. Marlon Brando is basically telling him, yes, I'm going to still go to the mob, and his brother pulls a gun on him. His own brother, basically telling him, you're not going to go. If you do, I'm going to kill you. And of course, a brother doing that to a brother, it hurts, man. And he looks at his brother. And he starts telling his brother that he was the cause of his downfall. He told him about the opportunities that he had when he was younger to become champion of the world. And his brother told him to take the dives instead. He said, on that night that I was fighting for the championship, he said, I could have taken that guy, but you told me tonight not your night. He said, I could have destroyed that guy. And he said, you should have looked out for me. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. and not a bum, which is what I am. You were my brother. You should have looked out for me.
It wasn't him, Charlie. It was you. You remember that night in the garden? You came down my dressing room and said, "Kid, this ain't your night. We're going for the price on Wilson." You remember that? This ain't your night. My night, I could have taken Wilson apart. So what happens? He gets the title shot outdoors in a ballpark, and what do I get? A one-way ticket to Palookaville. You was my brother, Charlie. You should have looked out for me a little bit. You should have taken care of me just a little bit so I wouldn't have to take them dives for the short-end money.
Well, I had some bets down for you. You saw some money.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it. It was you, Charlie.
Sadly, I feel this way when I look at the black community and I look at these black politicians and the white liberals and how they treat black people. The black community is beaten. The inner city is destroyed. America is going broke taking care of people that will refuse to take care of themselves. And all of these young men and young women looking at these black politicians that were strutting around with their nice suits on and their nice houses and their nice cars, and they're beaten and they're dysfunctional. And they look at these people and they say, "You should have looked out for me. You were my brother. I could have been a contender. You should have made the public educational system educate me. Instead, I dropped out of the 10th grade because I couldn't read. You should have kept the dope off the streets, which brought in all the crime. And it got my mama, and it got my father. You should have made it safe around here so we could build businesses, so we could build factories, so we could bring in entrepreneurship. You should have taught me how to get a job. You should have taught me how to do a trade. You should have taught me how to read, write, and count properly so I could have walked out into the world and I could have done something with my life. Instead, you just made me a bum. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. It was so dysfunctional that these people didn't even know how to take care of themselves or make their community safe. And then a Republican conservative, a person that most of them didn't even vote for, said, "I'll come in and I'll do it. I'll send in men and women that don't even live there in the National Guard to clean up a mess." And not a lot of them either, 300-400. And now these people are saying that the YNs are scared to come outside.
You know what I mean? You bitches in the house where you should have been at first, man. Ain't no young niggas getting locked up right now. Ain't no but older people getting locked up, man. Bring your bitch ass back outside now, hoe ass young nigga. Y'all got these folks up here terrorizing our motherfucking ass right now. And you got your bitch ass in the house. I don't see, where all the guns that y'all be having on y'all at the store and shit, man? You don't see none of that shit now. You niggas scared, man. You shake ass niggas, man. You niggas ain't really about that life, man. Stay your bitch ass in the house when they leave too. Weak ass nigga. For real, you niggas piss me off with that shit, bro. I ain't no young niggas outside.
I ain't seen a ski mask in 2 weeks.
I ain't seen one in 2 weeks.
Ski mask.
Bro, I ain't seen no ski mask on, bro. I ain't seen nobody. Have y'all seen a ski mask?
Young guys in Memphis, I don't want no smoke before I say this. Why y'all in the house now? Y'all out here been spinning on your blocks, sliding on your ops and everything else, giving them all the energy. The National Guard is down there. Want all the smoke now. They want all the energy, and they're down harassing regular citizens, regular 9 to 5, regular people that are just trying to go to work and survive through this economy. But y'all didn't went in the house and start playing PlayStation, Call of Duty, eating up all your old lady, Zuzus and women. She ready to get your corn feet funky ass up off her couch and send your ass back out there on the block and get that money, because that's what all you been doing. Standing in a motherfucking local liquor store with your ski mask on, won't let nobody actually come in there and actually shop at that local liquor store because you act like you own it. So I don't want no smoke when I tell y'all this. Come back outside with that same energy.
They can walk their dogs on the street. The children can play in the yard. They can barbecue. They can mow their lawns. They can walk to the store on a cool night without worrying about being accosted or jumped. They can put gas in their car without having to carry a gun on their hip. Where did this come from? It came from the George Floyd riots and the time of racial reckoning. Where you told police officers they better not get involved in proactive policing. Which means you can see a guy walking down the street with a bulge in his pocket, know he got a gun, but you can't pull him over because you'll call it racial profiling. Well, every time you catch somebody and they resist arrest and the cop has to arrest them, you got cameras all around them. So guess what the cops started doing? This is what you want? You can have it. The cops did the same thing that the Republicans did in 1877 after the whole South went Democrat. And they told black people, if you like your white slave masters so much, stay with them, we're out. The police officers doing the same thing to the inner city. If y'all want these Democrats so bad, the ones that are telling you that if we come in and find a guy that is a robber, that is a murderer, there's a thief, and we come take him off your street, and he start resisting arrest, and y'all say, we the bad guys. If y'all want that so much, you can have it. You can have it. And now the whole inner city is a dystopia. Just like the South was after Reconstruction. A no-go zone, ignorance, stupidity. Goes back to this saying from Samuel Adams. He said, it is in the interest of tyrants to reduce the people to ignorance and vice. For they cannot live in any country where virtue and knowledge prevail. They must reduce the area to ignorance and vice. And that's what they do. They've done it. And the Iron Triangle is all behind it. And white liberals are all behind it. They are evil. As I told you before, these ICE Democrats, what are ICE Democrats again? Democrats are categorized into three sections, and I call it ICE: ignorant, crazy, and evil. I'm here trying to help the ignorant ones. About 80% of Democrats are ignorant. About 10% are crazy. Can't help them. And then you got that last 10%, the ones that run the Democratic Party, the ones at the DNC, the ones that are in the Congress, the ones that are in the state houses, the ones that are elected members of the party. These are stone cold evil. I got a little beat I got that goes with it. Ignorant, crazy, evil. Okay? Ignorant, crazy, evil. All right? Ignorant, crazy, and evil. So you got Fat Boy Prisker, Grooming Gavin, and Crazy Kathy Hochul want to keep the National Guard out. Why? They want to keep their illegals, and they want to keep the black people on the plantation. This is how they keep their power. Hell, we almost like the Underground Railroad all over again, trying to help y'all escape. This is the 21st century version of the Underground Railroad. Man, this is a daggum shame. I think, though, from what I'm hearing, there's a large section of America waking up. Middle America is waking up. I think that many white people who were liberal but were living in condemnation, living with white guilt, are finding out that they're not responsible for what's going on down in the inner cities. Matter of fact, I think they're waking up to the fact that if they really want to help the inner cities, that they need to do it by leaving the Democratic Party and voting for more conservative measures, voting for somebody that's going to bring law and order, somebody's going to bring a good educational system, somebody's going to get the drugs off the streets and the illegals off the streets so these people can get jobs and have space. I think the good white people in the middle class are beginning to see that their hand-wringing liberalism and their do-gooderism.
Calm down, Miss Millie.
Has done much more harm than good. And I think that they are sitting back and they are reassessing their allegiance to the Democratic Party. I think they are beginning to realize they've been made fools of. And along with many other elements of the black community, I think that this group, enough of them are going to leave the Democratic Party to make this an extinct party. With the migration of inner city blacks and middle class whites from this evil institution, I think the Democratic Party has had its high water mark in America. And it's about to take a long slide downward. Kind of reminds me of what happened to the Republican Party after the Great Depression. And Newt Gingrich started the revolution that put Republicans back in charge of the House. And they've been in charge since then, about 22 of the last 30 years. American people got tired of the Democrats. I think the same thing's going to happen now on a national level with the Democratic Party. They've just gotten tired of their stupid, idiotic, socialist, atheist, Marxist ideologies. They're tired of their death. They're tired of their sexual grooming of children. They're tired of them urinating down your back and telling you that it's raining by telling you that a man cannot be a man, a woman is not a woman, night is not day, day is not night, life is not life, death is not death. And people are waking up to the insanity. And these inner cities are a testament to how evil the Democratic Party is. And the fact that they are stopping the United States of America, stopping us from helping out these people and giving them hope, tells you more about them than anything that I can say. Just treacherously evil people. And they've always been that way. Jim Crow, slavery, Confederacy, and now this. Lord God, I hope we in America do the Democratic Party where the Romans did to Carthage after 3 times of dealing with it. Burn it to the ground, pull up the foundations of it, and sow it in quicklime so it'll never, ever worry us again. So we are rising, they're falling. The Democratic Party's done. And there'll be a happy day, when we put their tombstone in the graveyard of all political movements that just took it too damn far. From the Nazis to the fascists to the communists, we're going to add the Democratic Party to that line of has-beens and tyrants that fell at the hands of the children of God. Yeah! It's going to be a happy day. And I'm going to keep bringing this to you because I'm here to wake you up. I hope I did you some good here today. So join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website. And on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got T-shirts, we got caps. You got my books, my documentaries. You got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new T-shirts. We're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it. Make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.